9 things I will never spend money on again. Some people are still getting it all wrong when it comes to wealth creation and financial freedom. Well, it is not just your income or salary that makes you rich. Your spending habits play a crucial role in your quest for wealth creation and financial freedom. If you spend money more than you earn, you will never become financially free. But let's be honest, there are some expenses that we should all be avoiding completely. And I'm not saying you need to strip your life down to the bare essentials, living like a caveman and living only off the land. But with a few quick and painless lifestyle changes, you could be freeing up a ton of room in your monthly budget. Today, we are going to do something different, in which we'll talk about the things I will never spend money on again. And trust me, if you cut these things out of your life too, you probably won't even notice they're gone. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe and click the notification bell button to be notified whenever a new video is released. These are the 9 things I will never spend money on again. Let's go! Number 1. Bank fees. Let's start with something that you won't miss once you've eliminated it from your life, because it's something that no one enjoys. I'm referring to bank costs. First and foremost, if you're still using a bank that charges you fees, it's time to change banks. There are so many zero-fee banks available these days that there's no reason to continue with the one that's sapping your savings with excessive costs. Some banks will charge you if you do not deposit enough money into your savings account each month, or if you do not have the requisite minimum balance in a certain account. And with some institutions, the list of these hidden fees can continue. Number 2. Credit card interest. Here's the truth. If you can't afford to pay your credit card off each month to avoid interest, then you can't afford your credit card. Credit card interest is insanely high, and it costs you a ton of money. If you have trouble controlling your credit card, which is understandable, many people do everything you can to pay it off and get rid of it. You may develop credit in other ways that are considerably more beneficial to you than paying credit card interest, which, when combined with late penalties, amounts to a huge waste of money. If you are trying to pay your credit card off, consider switching to a zero-interest or low-interest card in the interim until you can get it under control and cancel it. Number 3. Cable. When was the last time you really watched a show at the time it was supposed to air? Paying for cable isn't worth it for most people. It's no longer possible to watch live television. More than 33 million Americans had discontinued their cable subscriptions as of 2018. They have also chosen to spend this money on less expensive entertainment options. For instance, more than 150 million people are watching Netflix every month. Moreover, 90 million people are on Amazon Prime and 55 million on Hulu. Using these streaming services is not only cheaper, but they often have original content. Aside from that, you may also watch your favorite shows on YouTube. It is a convenient and cost-free way. As a result, canceling your TV service is one option to save money. Number 4. Paper towel and washcloths. Tossing out a paper towel is like tossing money out the window. Not only does it result in more waste, but it also costs you more money in the long run. Instead, use recycled material cloths, or you can even knit your own washcloths that are both better for the environment and better for your hip pocket. Plus, they're fun to make and super cute too. Simply wash them on a regular basis to keep them fresh and dry them in the sun to destroy bacteria. You can even change them every day or as frequently as you would with paper towels if you build up a large enough stash. Number 5. Extended warranties. I completely understand why people buy extended warranties on new televisions or other electrical goods. You want your new pricey buy to be insured so that you don't have to pay for a whole new one if something goes wrong with it. Isn't that logical? So before you sign on the dotted line, conduct a thorough cost-benefit analysis. A lot of extended warranties can up the price of an item by as much as 50%, which can be a ton of money in some cases. For instance, you get a $1,000 TV, and the extended warranty costs $500. Now, $500 is a lot of cash. Do you really need that TV covered? All your kids have moved out of the house, so no one's going to be throwing the football around the living room. So what are the odds that some freak accident is going to happen and that wall-mounted flat screen is going to shatter? I'd say they're pretty small. Number 6. Lottery tickets. Where do our governments get off arresting people for financial fraud and theft when they're out there selling lottery tickets? We should just start calling them robbery tickets, because that's what they are. Buying lottery tickets is notoriously one of the worst ways you can spend your money, but yet so many people play the lottery every day. I get it, we all dream of having $1 million dumped on us one day, and then suddenly your whole life changes and you're filthy rich. But in reality, it just isn't going to work out like that. The odds of winning the Powerball or the Mega Millions are both around 1 in 300 million, which means it just isn't going to happen to you. Even if you end up getting some smaller winnings, the amount you spent on those tickets every day almost always adds up to more than you want. The bottom line is the lottery is a scam and a waste of money, and you should never spend your hard-earned cash on it again. Number 7. Unnecessary groceries. Grocery shopping when you're hungry or grocery shopping without meal planning and a list is more often than not going to result in unnecessary groceries. While you may think you're going to use the items, between 30 to 40% of all food is wasted in America each year. That is huge. Avoid wasting money by meal planning and creating a grocery list based on your plan. Shop once a week and always avoid shopping when hungry. Number 8. Gift cards, overpriced plastic. All right, a gift card is a nice gesture, sure. But I bet everyone out there has at least one unused gift card lying around that they got for a birthday like 5 years ago. A study done in 2020 showed that about 80% of gift cards get used, leaving about 20% unused. Americans alone left $3 billion of gift card money unused in 2020. That just feels to me like we're handing over free money to these big corporations. I know regardless of whether you buy a gift card or something else as a gift, you're probably going to be spending the same amount of money. But instead of spending money on a piece of plastic that has a 20% chance of not getting used, buy that person some merchandise or just give them cash. So a lot of gift cards end up being useless pieces of plastic. Number 9. Trying to impress people. Originating in prehistoric periods, when tribe members were either accepted by a group or died, humans have always felt compelled to blend in. Our ability to survive in the environment has improved dramatically throughout time. Our desire to be accepted, on the other hand, hasn't altered, leading to a culture of spending money to fit in. Spending to impress is not advisable. Whether it's buying a new clothing to impress a girl at school or acquiring a larger home to please your buddies, people will admire you for your personality rather than your flashy attire. But there are more advantages to avoiding this type of wasteful spending than just creating better connections with individuals. When you don't spend to impress, you end up saving more money rather than admiring the wealthy. You can become wealthy. While there are some expenses that are necessary and others that can be considered luxuries or indulgences, these are expenses that you should never spend money on. Remove them from your budget and discover how much money you can save. Do comment on your views and thoughts about what you think. Also, hit the share button so that maximum people can make use of this and learn different things they should never spend money on again. Thanks for watching.